Hey everybody, it's Trevor here with the channel where every day is range day, and in this week's video we've got another quick how-to installation guide for some belt clips. But this week, instead of Malice clips, we're going to be taking a look at regular belt clips so that you can put MOLLE attachments like these Kiwi mag pouches on a regular EDC gun belt. Let's check it out. Alright guys, so here we are at the countertop. We're going to be going through the quick how-to for how to install these belt clips on your MOLLE accessories so they can fit on an EDC belt just like this one from Core. Here you can kind of see what we're going for, just two clips on the back of this AR mag attachment. How to get those on there, some tips and tricks for making that nice and quick and easy. This is the finished product again that we're shooting for, and you can basically put as many of these on your belt as you can stand it. Usually have the pistol over here on the left, but we're not going to be needing that for this video. The one we're going to be working on today is this double pistol mag pouch that I like to carry, usually right here like this next to the AR mag, also from S-Tac, and you can see it's got the MOLLE webbing slots that you can also put Malice clips through here like Mac talked about in his video last week. And much similar to his video, we've also prepped this mag pouch here just a little bit before getting to work on it, and you'll notice that I've taken the Kiwi Kydex inserts out of this particular mag pouch, so all we have is the nice and kind of flexible nylon piece. These are the two Kiwi pieces, just a little Velcro piece that goes in here. Big fan of this type of mag holster on the channel, but this Kydex is again pretty rigid. It makes it a real pain in the butt to try to move these straps around when you're getting Malice clips or even these belt clips on and off of here. So definitely take any kind of rigid Kydex reinforcement that your mag pouches might have out of the mag pouch before we get started. And these are just a quick look at the actual belt clips that we're going to be putting on here today. Of course, it's important to match the thickness of your belt to the width of these slots that you pick out, and they can be a nice alternative if you don't have a full dedicated war belt like the Orion or something like that that requires Malice clips for fastening. We'll get into that a little bit more later, but now we're going to go on to the quick install. So taking a look at the mag pouch, this is the way it would sit on your range belt. So this is basically the top. So this is how you're going to want the top portion of the mag pouch to sit. If you flip these upside down, these would be sitting way up on the belt and kind of poking up high. But otherwise, this is going to be the general arrangement that we're going for here. You basically have a top hook right here and then a lower hook on the bottom, and this is the one that's a bit trickier to go through. So if we look at the installed version here, you can see that the bottom hook will go through this bottom loop and up and over. You can't really see too well under here. There it is. You can see that first hook on the top kind of goes under and then over the very first strap. So emulating that on here, again with the Kydex removed, this is a whole heck of a lot easier. So the first thing we're going to do here is kind of pop these two upper and lower bands up just a little bit like this so we have something to work with. And we're going to want to take the top piece and guide it under the first one, and take the bottom piece and guide it under the bottom one like that, and just kind of push it on through. Now you'll notice that the very bottom clip here is kind of already in position, but we still have quite a ways to go to get this piece, which looks a bit like this, all the way through to hook in nice and tight. And this is where removing the Kydex really helps. This nylon piece is now a whole heck of a lot more flexible. And it's pretty easy, just push it all the way through, tuck that strap down, make sure it lays flat under that clip, and then just pull it on through and you're done with the clip. Without the Kydex, this piece would not be very rigid, and you're really pushing really hard on that nylon strap to get it to go. It's doable, and that's how I struggled through with this on the first time I put these in. Taking the Kydex out, it's just that easy. So we're doing the same thing here for the second side. I'm gonna pop these two pieces up just a little bit to help us get started. You can kind of pinch it like that to hold them open. You're gonna wanna do the bottom one under and the top one under. Just like that. Nice and easy for the top hook. Push it just a little more to get that bottom hook over the top. Pull it back into place and you're good to go. Your belt clips are on here. They wiggle just a hair, which is a consequence of this particular fastening design, but it's really quick and easy to get that in there as long as you take your Kydex out. Last thing to do is just push these S-Tac Kiwis back in there. Again, trying to keep a buffer between the Velcro until you get it down where you like. Push that in there, number one. Same for number two. And we're good to go. You can just slide this on the belt. And that brings me to my sort of first main comparison between these belt clips and a MOLLE style attachments is they are removable. So this could be a benefit to you if you want to use the same belt for everything like I kind of have been doing. I use this Core belt for my EDC concealed carry. I can also hook it up with these two belt attachments, and I even have a separate one for my pistol holster, and you can just kind of slide everything on and off the belt at your leisure. and use the same belt to really do everything. And now we're good to go. I usually carry these in the reverse order, but you can stack and layer these on here any which way you like. You can slide them around a little bit to get them to fit exactly where you like. And that is a little bit of an advantage to having these belt clips as opposed to the MOLLE attachments, where you kind of treat them more like a belt loop type thing, where they have to go in sort of fixed spaces and it might not be exactly where you want. If you could scoot it over, you know, that much, it's perfect for you. Not a big deal, but if you're particular, you might like that about this. That being said, it can also be viewed as a drawback. Again, these don't slide around here like crazy, you know, they're not super loose, but you can move them on here, while the Malice clips are a much more permanent and fixed type of attachment method. And that would be the main difference and perhaps drawback to a belt style like this, is your gear may move around on your hips unless you have some belt loops in just the right places to kind of pin these in place from left to right. You get a little bit more adjustability, but they will also move on you a little bit depending on what you're doing and how aggressive you are with your reloads. It's not significant, you know, if you're just walking around, they're not going to be moving. That is another downside. The other key thing to consider is while you do get some increased versatility out of a single belt, it's not always going to be ready to go if you should need it. The Malice clips are again more permanent and fixed and meant to go on a bit more of a dedicated belt setup, whereas these you have to put on every time. So the dedicated war belt, like on Max and Chandler, they have the Orions. That belt's always ready to go and it's super quick for them to just grab it and throw it on. And every time we're switching to belt type stuff, I have to take my belt off, thread each of these on one by one, and loop them in through the belt loops. It takes a little bit longer, so it's definitely not ready to go into a pinch unless you have a separate dedicated belt like this to throw on. But at that point, you might as well just get a war belt. You'll be better off. I mainly dabbled with these, so I wanted to try to maximize the value I could get out of one particular belt, and you really do get quite a bit of versatility adding these belt clips. They're definitely cheap additions, and you can outfit any kind of sturdy EDC belt like these pretty quick and easy like we talked about today. All right, everybody, that looks like it's going to be it for this week's video on a quick how-to installation guide for throwing some belt clips on your MOLLE gear so you can set up your everyday carry belt as a range belt. Malice clips and these regular belt clips all have a couple of trade-offs between affordability and flexibility with which kind of belt you may or may not need, but the belt clips go on just a little bit different than the Malice clips that Mac did a video on last week. If that's the kind of gear that you're running, be sure to check out that video. But nevertheless, I hope our quick how-to guide today was helpful for you, and if you like this video, feel free to give it a like down below. And if you have any questions about throwing belt clips on your gear, or if you'd like to share about which kind of mounting system's your favorite, feel free to leave it down below in the comments. We would love to hear from you. And as always, make sure to subscribe to the channel, where every day is range day. Thank you for watching.